What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan. It is Wednesday, March 1st. I hope you all are doing well wherever you're at in the world at the time you find this reaction. And finally, I'm doing a reaction on the day that the damn episode comes out. I'm caught up! Woot woot! All right, now that out of the way, in this reaction, we'll be reacting to the 9th episode of Tomo-chan is a Girl. And the title of today's episode is actually automatically answering my question that I came into this episode with, the angel's true face. So, just to briefly start off with last week's episode and the episode before, but particularly last week's episode, has really broken this show wide open. We're going from this just being this girl who was shouting in the trailer that she's in love and this and that, and then June just kind of brushing her off, to we're really starting to unravel some serious personality traits, some traumas that people are dealing with, and truths are really starting to come out. And we had a really, really good episode, and an episode that I think is really starting to help Tomo-chan as a Girl stand among the rest. Now, again, if it wasn't for the angel next door, Tomo would definitely be up there. It probably would be in the top 2, to be honest, for this season for rom-coms, and it still has a chance to be. It's in my top 3 right now, but I'm really starting to dive into story elements to determine what's going to end up being in my top spot for the rest of the season. But last episode was great. We had our traditional festival episode where normally truths start to really come to light in festival episodes, and the 8th episode of Tomo-chan as a Girl was no different. And after seeing the whole setup happen and Carol taking action, Carol really taking charge last episode to make sure that Misuzu and her jealousy would not cause any unnecessary effects on June and Tomo's relationship starting to bloom. That was really nice, and again, it starts to really unravel some more about Carol's personality and what she's trying to get out of this herself, out of all of this. We now know without a doubt that Misuzu is scared of losing Tomo. She's scared that a relationship between Tomo and June could spell the end or a serious downgrade in the best friendship that she shares with Tomo. And Misuzu, as much as she comes across as very cold-hearted and cold-blooded and manipulative, and take note, she is all of these things, she is someone who does greatly cherish the people, or the very select individuals that she cares for. And Tomo, she really cares about Tomo. She's been there for her since day one, even before she met June. And I think that she's just very territorial, and she's scared of being left behind at the end. And it's nice to see that under that shell, under that stern, cold shell that she puts on, that she just wants to make sure that she's going to be able to have a place at the end of all of this, and that Tomo is going to be okay. We also got to see, courtesy of the second half of the episode, we got to see how she feels when it comes to June to a certain extent. Because we've seen on paper, on screen, how much her and June can't stand each other. But we also got to see that at the end of it, she has a certain layer of trust in June. She knows that if she says something like what she did, that when Carol and her ended up getting in trouble, or getting in a situation with the bullies, that if she called and she asked them, she had to suck up her humility there, and she had to say, hey, we got a problem. And you saw what his face looked like. He was going to take care of what needed to be taken care of. And even Tomo got to see that. And that really was very important to me to see, because we've only gotten to see one facet of the relationship between Misuzu and June, and it was very nice getting to see that when it comes down to it, he's going to defend his friends. That also proved to us that he does see her at least more than just the spawn of Satan, and that was nice to see. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say they're friends, not by any means of the draw, but I am going to go as far as to say that he has respect. And also, she didn't want to involve her best friend in it, and she knew that she could trust, she could trust June to show up and take care of what needed to be taken care of. But, beside all those things happening, one big thing that I left last week's episode on was Carol. And it looks like, with the title being The Angel's True Face, I might be getting that answer this episode. Carol, I have never truly just put behind me and said she has no ulterior motive. Y'all heard me say that I do believe she is genuinely trying to be friends. I do not believe she is trying to intentionally cause harm or anything to anybody behind her airheadedness and having a 1 IQ. I at least now genuinely believe she does see these individuals as friends and she wants to be involved in their life in a positive way. But I've also questioned, when's her other side gonna come? Because everyone has another side, even airheaded people. They always have that other side. And Carol's not stupid. And that's been my biggest thing. Carol is not stupid. She may not be, well, actually, she's really not stupid because we know that she actually is relatively good with her schoolwork. So, excuse me, Carol, I'm sorry. Let me give you some of your IQ back. I am so sorry because you're not stupid. She's airheaded, but she knows what she wants and she knows what she's trying to obtain. And now we're about to unravel the other side of her. You know, we saw how easily she was able to switch and act like Mizuzu when they were doing the King's game. And now it looks like we're really about to dig into who's Carol, who is she really? Why is she the way she is now? And is there something that happened that caused her to become this way as her life went on? And so with a title like this, I'm very excited to see what we're going to be given. And, you know, Tomo-chan is a girl. For what the show may have come off to the community as at the beginning, many of you source readers said that you were really excited for this adaptation and that it was going to be really good as the adaptation went on, and I believe that this is a really good show this season. I've had a lot of fun watching it, and now I'm very intrigued in learning and unraveling who Carol really is. Since I'm assuming that's what that title means. So that's all I got for you now. I'm going to go ahead and get the episode set up. I actually had some sourcing issues, so I just got the video sourced and ready to go. So I'm going to get it pulled up on the screen. It'll be a split second for you guys. And when I come back, we'll get this reaction started. All right, y'all, I am back. I have episode 9 pulled up and I am ready to go. But before I start that, I want to make a quick comment when it came to this whole ordeal between Misaki and Carol, since I now know that this episode is going to revolve heavily around Carol and there was only a single title to the episode. And that has to simply do with this whole relationship, love, marriage thing. So first off, I did think it was hilarious what happened when he was ready to fight when he showed up and thought that the bullies had did something to Carol and Mizuzu. But despite how hilarious that was, I still don't know if I can get behind this whole relationship thing. Now, I understand a few of you actually came and said, hey, they're second cousins, third cousins, whatever the circumstance may be. I understand we have some sweet home Alabama representatives circulating around the world. That's fine and dandy and all. But I ain't one of them. And even though there are certain cases when it comes to family ties that, you know, or it being raised as a family that I guess I can understand. Like, for example, you guys know I thought very favorable of My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex, the show that came out, a bit ago. And I thought that was a relatively good show, and I feel for the circumstances. I truly, truly do. But in a situation like this is textbook. Nada. It shouldn't, nada. But I'm going to give it a chance and see how this story plays out, and we're going to see what comes of it, and who knows, maybe I'll get to the end and be like, okay, maybe y'all were on to something, and maybe I can marginally try to understand and get behind it, but right now, I'm still not there. We'll see where we go, though, as Carol's story unravels. So, I'm going to go ahead and get my headphones on, and let's go ahead and get this episode started in 3, 2, 1. So we're going to start with him. Okay. Ooh. I mean, Carol's cute as a button. No one's denying that, but oh, see, See, they should have nipped that in the bud right when y'all was kids. But you know, kids always do that playful, we're gonna get married, this and that stuff. So I get why no one would have thought much of it until now. Because normally as you grow up, you kind of you kind of put that side of you behind you and you mature and you realize, okay, no, we can't be doing that. I know we joked a lot about that as kids, but we can't be doing that now. But alas, you end up in a situation where you're in high school and no Carol really, really does want and expects that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we go with this. Maybe it'll pop out and say they're not actually cousins after all. So oh, he really is trying to build up his strength. Weak as hell. More weakness. More. Hey, yeah, we did see that. Homie was about to kill some. He was about to kill some bullies and get a whole murder charge. Homie ain't about that life. Three sets of 50? Not awful. Oh, that's absolutely awful. I mean, there's extremes and then there's you. Okay, that's a little better. Still awful, but better. That will absolutely not happen. She absolutely will not. Yeah, you're dead. Why even bring her down? You gotta understand too. My man's trying to. He still thinks he's behind. He's behind her. So, like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. You brought up his girl's name. Oh damn! You got a hit. It's a scratch. We'll take it. Oh, but he killed him. He's actually dead. Bodied. Well, that didn't last too long. Damn. She got a scratch though. Good job. You died. Ah. Listen, you mentioned her name and that was it. Yes. Okay, so maybe I gave her too much credit, and this is going to be more on him than it is her. Y'all are really going to have that sit down one of these days soon. Because y'all ain't going to make it much longer. Of course. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. So he wasn't. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, Carol gonna go back to saying enemy again. What are you up to? Damn! Damn! So direct. Everything. Oh, shit! Carol, what is you up to? What is you up to? What is this girl about to do? She's about to move everything forward. Again, what is Carol's endgame? Why is she in your room? How'd she get there? What the fuck are you doing? Yes, we know this. Because she wants him to take action now. What are you about to do? Carol. 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 Carol, what are you doing? What are you doing? She moving things along in a way that works best for her. Oh, I know what she's doing, but she is literally trying to force things along now. Damn, yeeted you on the floor. He said you can show yourself out. He got hit with the Carol bug. Oh, she's absolutely right. Oh, come on, bruh. Bruh, let's just settle that now then. Where the fuck did you come from? She got the kissing and everything. And then she apologizes. And then she leaves. Carol's such a legend. What a legend. She stirs stuff up for a whole day. Yo, frightening. Yeah, I agree with you now. I thought you were going to be the worst person, but it is coming down to Carol. Man, maybe I'll have to take back even giving Carol. No. Let me wait and let the episode pan out. I mean, she is your cousin. Oh my goodness. This is a mess. Yes, we know this. You both do. Yeah, like no shit. I have an answer, but you're not going to like it. I would be scared too, for more reason than one. Look, she even got Misu getting a little scared now, so. Damn. That's only you. Yeah. Oh shit, what are you gonna do? Because now that she knows Carol's about that life, Mizu's also about that life. Oh, this is about to be awful. Oh boy. Whoa. What the hell? That has her stuff. What face did she give? she ain't gonna doki doki herself, is she? I mean, then again, she did want to create a vulnerable state. As long as she'll go doki doki herself. Yo. Trust, Toma already know you. She know exactly what you like. So, damn! He didn't do nothing! That's all Mizu. Wait, so does is the mom behind? See, ain't nobody trying to set this right, so they just gonna let it happen. Damn. How many times this man gonna get hit? Emotionally, physically? Yeah. Yeah, when you said liar, it was an absolute lie. No, we might as well get this out the way now. Typical Carol fashion, I swear. That's such a Carol answer. You know exactly. Are you gonna step in? Yes. Thank you. So it's been accepted, clearly. Yeah. And I think that's what I'm going to need to focus on since obviously I can't really get behind the relationship. I can at least get behind everything else. Damn. The mom is even more vile, I swear. Yeah, I'm out. You've kissed. This girl just kissing everyone. How many kisses you handed out? Yeah, and that's right, and she actually got her vulnerable enough that she got caught. Because normally she pushes her away. Damn, see, we've had so much to unpack there, I completely forgot it's the first time she's actually been able to get to her face. Oh boy, I got a lot to think about. I'm going to take this next 90 seconds to figure out what I actually want to say. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this out the way now, and then I'm going to focus on all the other elements of the episode. So, again, they got their confession. I'm glad it's out the way. You know, it's how I was raised and how most people were raised. You are told that if you find out you're a cousin of any sort, even if you marry the person and you find out later down the line that you accidentally married your cousin or second cousin or whatever the situation is when you do an ancestry thing or whatever, that just is what it is. That's what it is, and you're supposed to stop. But in this case, that's not the case. So I think that it's important that we just go ahead and throw out on the record, what is a second cousin? So a second cousin, I'm going to read it to you because obviously I typed it up and pulled it up. A second cousin, as the children of, correction. Are second cousins blood related? As the children of first cousins, second cousins are blood related, technically speaking. Second cousins share great grandparents, and as first cousins share grandparents, the connection is halved with every new generation. Also, anything from a second cousin and beyond, I believe, based on what I've read and what I understand in the past, is not considered inbreeding. So, with that said, also in the United States, second cousins are actually allowed to marry. Because it's considered that there's not enough of a blood connection that it's basically acceptable. So first cousins, obviously, you can only marry in 50 states. You shouldn't at all, but you can. But second cousins, you are allowed to marry anywhere in the country, and I would assume that it applies to many countries in the world too. So we got that all out the way now. All right, cool. We got it all out the way. So with that said, technically speaking, morally, I can't support Misaki and Carol dating or marrying each other. I can't. And that's just because of how I was raised. So, but I did like the episode, all things considered. And I do like the fact that we've now finally gotten that out the way. And we basically had two people that have these different personality traits kind of competing at each other for who can be more vile. You have Carol sitting here instigating stuff, telling Misuzu, do you think it's going to last this way that long? Because she went off and instigated freaking June so that he would start finally making a move with Tomo. And then you have Misuzu like, all right, bet. And flat out told her, he don't like you, you don't stand a chance. So I do think that courtesy of both of our two characters that are considered the best characters of the show, because for those who may not be keeping up with the reviews of the show, even though the show is getting relatively good and decent reviews, a lot of people actually do not like June or Tomo. They think that they're just way too 1 and 2 dimensional. They don't really have anything more to their personalities than being 1 or 2 dimensional. And the only people who do have more than just 1 or 2 dimensional personalities is Carol and Mizuzu, which is why they have been considered the best characters of the show. And I'll say this episode more or less proves that to be a fact. Now, I want to be clear. Unlike most of the community, I have no issues really with June and Tomo. I understand, particularly with June, that he has this whole man's pride thing that he has to work out, and it's an immaturity thing that also adolescents go through, and he has to get over it. And now, we've kind of unveiled that because he hasn't really sealed the deal when it's come to the whole gang thing and being able to protect her, that's the simple reason why he chooses to not wholeheartedly look at her as a girl. Now, he did make a comment that's interesting. I went one or two episodes ago and I said there's no way, and it was even, and a comment was even made in the show, that there's no way that he sees Tomo as anything other than a girl at this point, because it's clear as day. His emotions is on his sleeve. We clearly can tell that he sees her as a girl wholeheartedly. Now, he went on record here to say that the reason he can't fully see her as a girl is because of his thing. I think that's a lie. I think he does fully see her as a girl, and right now it's just his pride that's holding him back. So, that out the way, back to Carol and Mizuzu. I thought that the contrasting things and them kind of going at each other was absolutely hilarious. It definitely helped move the plot along for several different reasons in several different ways. And in the end, everyone got the happiness that they were seeking. Everyone except Mizuzu. And so this really brings me back to Mizuzu and the fact that she feels she's going to end up being alone at the end of all this, because now she's not going to admit it, but she is definitely starting to gain a connection with Carol. And I think that this entire ordeal here will probably actually bring them closer in the end. But if she gets with Misaki, which is now supported by the mother, because the mother, doesn't want Carol to show the face that she showed then, because she told her that smiling is the best thing to do, and that's why Carol smiles all the time, not because she's not sad, but because she understands that she doesn't want to let that type of sadness and grief overwhelm her. Carol's a very rich girl. She comes from a very different background from the other people around her, and so it is very easy for people to forget that even though she is rich and even though she comes from this background, sometimes she just wants to have normal relations with people too. And since the families clearly did not establish normal relations early on, which is why Misaki and Carol are now about to go down this romantic thing, it makes sense that she's just stuck in this loop where she is truly happy about being able to have people that she cares for, and that also proved that proved, and I'm glad I didn't take it back, because I was getting ready to take back giving her any accolades that actually just truly just wanting genuine friendships, but we now see that is indeed what Carol wants at the end of the day. She does want genuine friendships. She has always felt lonely, and obviously being told by Mizuzu that, he did not, it was not going to work out. She didn't see him that way at all. And I agreed at that time. I was like, he shouldn't, but last year we are. That sent her down a really bad spiral. It definitely broke her open from a vulnerability standpoint. And we got to see that Carol is a normal person like anyone else in this universe. Yes, she's a bubbly airhead all the time, but under that shell, she's just like any one of us. So, we've made a lot of revelations this episode. Everything's now broken open. And thanks to all the antics between Mizuzu and Carol, now, of course, Tomo and June have now taken one more step further to getting their life and stuff figured out. But, of course, the confession of the episode was the confession between Misaki and Carol. So, again, I understand that there are going to be some that are going to comment and be like, listen, you're a veteran with anime. You've said yourself, you've watched anime a lot. You know that this is how this stuff tends to go. Yes, that is true, but normally those are in like joking fashions, and in this fashion, because this is a serious romantic non-gag situation happening, I have to put on record that morally I cannot support the relationship aspect. But I do support everything else, not abandoning her, being a strength for her, and I do think that those were good elements of this episode that helped move the story along. So I'm going to be conflicted on this episode for the next week. I really am. I'm glad that it's done and over with now, and that we can move on to the rest of the plot next week. I knew we were going to have to tackle it, and now that we've tackled it, I'm just stuck in this limbo where I'm going to end this recording and I'm probably just going to be stuck in limbo for the rest of the week about if there's any way I can get support behind this or not. So, but let me know what you guys thought. You know, what are your thoughts when it comes to the whole second cousin thing to begin with, and putting aside the Sweet Home Alabama stuff? I'm interested in hearing your guys' thoughts, because obviously this is going to be a controversial episode for various reasons, and you know, we're just all going to have to make a decision on how we feel about this. So that's my thoughts here. Thanks for watching. If you did like the reaction, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. So I'll see all of you wonderful people next week for another episode of Tomo-chan is a Girl. And until that time, catch you later.